Hey guys, woo! Episode 1, part 2 of my new series, The Markup. Cute name, right? Marking up the whiteboard. Your boy's name is Mark. So we're continuing this education. We're seeing in this first episode the true value of what seller concessions means and how they can really, really affect your ability to buy a house, maybe get some money back, or have to put very little down. So look back at part 1 if you have not already seen it, because I kind of broke down what all these terms mean and went over a VA loan. I want to get into these last 3 columns. So in this scenario, guys, just to recap, we're looking at a $385,000 price point. These are new townhomes that I discovered in Austell a couple weeks ago, and we've already got some people under contract and over there for their approval. We're looking at a scenario when you use the preferred lender and the builder contribution when they're giving you $15,000. Now, what's great about this particular opportunity is you've seen us go on Instagram Lives, Cocktails with Kurt. We've interviewed certain lenders that we really trust, people that have 10 years in the industry, people that have 40 years in the industry. Well, this particular lender that's working in this community is one of our preferred lenders, and it's the preferred lenders of the actual builder. He has 40 years of experience, and he works for a bank, and he has all this knowledge and some of the best customer service we've ever seen. We really, really love the guy. And so when we send you over to try to take advantage of this opportunity, I want you to see how big this is. So in this scenario, we're looking, these townhomes are between 360s and about 395. Their grand opening, their standing inventory, they're offering $15,000 lender and builder credit. And you can see in part 1 what that really truly means. And we just talked about it with a VA loan. I'm taking you next through the conventional down payment assistance loan and kind of show you how big 2 things are in this category: the down payment assistance combined with the $15,000. So in this scenario, we're looking at closing costs on average, again, between 3 and 4%. For this example, we are giving the going average, about 3.5% of your sales price will be closing costs. That's the attorney fees, the lender fees, setting up your escrow account, setting up your HOA initiation fees, things like that, account for about 3.5% on average. So you would take 385,000, multiply it by 0.035, and you're going to get this number across no matter what category we're going through, which is 3.5% of 385,000 is 13,475. So let's talk about the 12,500 DPA. That stands for down payment assistance. We get that in our DMs constantly. Is there down payment assistance? There are, but there's sometimes income limits. There are credit limits. There are classes you have to take. There are certain agents and lenders you have to work for. But if you want to just work, hey, you guys are great, GreatHomesATL. You guys know pretty much everything about real estate. You're the owners of your own company. I want to work with you. One of these great programs that we have worked with this lender, I want you to go to our profile page and look under the highlight section, look for grant program. The second thing on the grant program is when I sat down, went on my laptop, and showed you a gray map area. If you currently rent in that area and have not owned a home in 3 years, a lot of pockets west of the city, tons south of the city, southeast a lot. And then there's even pockets even on the northern side, northeast, northwest. But a strategy may be, guys, to go rent, because there's no time limit. You could be in that rental for a month. You have to just probably show your utilities are set up in there. Or you could already be renting in those areas, or you're thinking about relocating to the area and you're not really ready right away, but you would love access to this 12,500, go rent in one of those areas. So it's super important, if you're watching this video and that's something that interests you, to send us your full name, phone number, email, mention DPA, $12,500 program. I will introduce you to this lender, and then you can work with him to type in the address you're thinking about living and make sure it fits in that gray area on that map. And boom, that will be accessible to you as early as 30 days, 60 days. If you're already rent in that area, or if you're thinking about relocating, go rent in one of those areas and get some of this money. and how this could really, really benefit you in a program like this when it's also a brand new home that's offering these type of incentives, $15,000. Conventional loans typically require 680 or higher credit score, and your debt ratios have to be 45% or less. I'm not going to get into that in this video. Talk to the lender, see what your debt levels are. Typically, the people that don't have college loans or student loans or don't have a ton of debt, are not riding around in $1,500 Land Rover or Mercedes car notes, only making a certain amount of money, right? You're just being very diligent. You don't like high debt levels, but you want to own a house. Conventional is going to be a great way to go. And you have to be conventional to get that down payment assistance program. It does not work for FHA, which we'll get into in a second. But we're going to take, on this scenario, so we're looking for down payment, DP. 3% is typically the lowest on conventional. So 3% of $385 is $11,550. We talked about earlier at the beginning of this video and last video, we're taking the average between 3 and 4%, so 3.5%. Of $385,000, this is what your closing costs would be. So these are two pluses. So if we stopped right here, you're looking at, in order to close on this home, if you did not get seller contributions, if you did not get down payment assistance, cost you about $25,000, which is not a huge amount for buying a home, like especially at this price point. We're talking at a nice, this is a brand new home. This is Greater Atlanta. Prices are only going to go up from here because people, high-tech jobs, people moving here, movie industry, healthcare jobs. Guys, you see these prices, this is relatively low compared to where people are coming from. We have our clients coming from the UK, Australia, Miami, New York, Chicago, LA, did I say New York? Yeah, all those big ones, Philadelphia. So this is going to be a true, price point for you if you're looking for a nice product, brand new in Greater Atlanta. So when you go through the preferred lender, when you go through the guy I'm going to send you through, the builder is going to, them and the lender are going to contribute $15,000 towards your closing costs. You could already see that wipes out your closing cost, right? So it's minus $15,000. We talked about in the last video, what does EM stand for? Earnest money. Your earnest money is the money you're going to put down. It sits in a trust account. It will be dispersed on closing day. This builder is only asking 1% to take this house off the market once you provide the pre-approval letter and you are ready to go. So you've already put this down. This is your money that's already sitting in the pot. You don't have to worry about it. It's going to be a line item on your closing document. Now this is huge. You live in one of those gray areas, you have your credit score 680 or higher, your debt to income ratio is 45% or less. This is another minus. So $11,550 plus $13,475 minus $15,000 minus that earnest money you've already put down, $3,850. They're going to give you $12,500 for living and being a good steward to your credit and living in one of those areas. So what are you going to, what's your ECC, your estimated cash to close, what you're going to have to wire over on closing day? You see that negative there? You're about to buy a $385,000 house just because you were a good steward of your credit and you lived in one of those gray map areas. You're getting money back. Yes, you're going to get money back. To buy this house, $385,000, you're getting $6,325 back. Insane. But what would I do with that money? Hey, maybe interest rates are 6%, 6.25, 6.5. What if you could buy that rate down to 5, 5.25, 4.75 and shave off hundreds of dollars in your mortgage every month? I'm going to use this to buy down the points, to buy down the interest rate, and the lender's going to walk you through that. Hey, I'm going to take that money and go buy a bedroom set. I'm going to furnish half of my townhome. I'm going to buy design trim walls, do accented paint walls, all that kind of stuff. I have access to money to buy down the rate, buy furniture, anything that, you really want in that scenario. Huge, huge, huge deal. FHA, next column, Federal Housing Administration. A lot of first-time home buyers do it. A lot of people that have debt levels between 46% and 54, 55, maybe stretching it. FHA requires 3.5% down. 3.5% of $385,000 is $13,475. So we're going to do a plus there. Closing costs, you can see we talked about all across the board. 3.5% of $385,000 is $13,475. You're still, when you use the preferred lender and go FHA, you qualify. You're going to get the $15,000 contribution between the lender and the builder. You again already put your earnest money down, right? So you got the $3,850 that is a line item on your closing document. So to close FHA at $385,000 with, this is the key, $15,000, it's only going to cost you around $8,100 to close on a home. Who would use FHA? Again, somebody that does not qualify, does not live in that gray map area, so they don't get the down payment assistance. But they have, a 620, 640, 660, even higher credit score, but their ratios, they have college debt, they have a pretty good car note, they have maybe some credit card debt, student loan debt, credit card debt, stuff like that. So their ratios are higher than that 45%, but lower than 55, 54%. Not a bad deal to close on a $385,000 house. So you could see, if you did not get this, right? You're talking about having to come to the table with 23, you didn't get that $15,000 there. You're talking about, add 15,000 to that. You're looking at about $23,000, $24,000 to close on that house. That's how huge going to the preferred lender and having the builder do their seller contributions of that $15,000. Finally, conventional, no DPA, no down payment assistance. Who would this be? This is somebody that has the 680 or higher credit score, has that 45% or less debt ratios, but has not rented in that gray map area. Hey, my kids are about to start school, I'm relocating, I have a brand new townhouse, let me take it, I'm going to get it. Coming in from Iowa, I'm coming from Alabama, I'm coming from Canada, coming from LA, whatever the case may be, I'm ready to go. I don't want to wait around for this down payment assistance. I don't need it. I'm coming to town already with some money. I could put 20% down, but I don't want to, right? I want to have as much money in my pocket as I can. Well, I'm going to put 3% down. So 3% of $385,000 is $11,550. We talked about the closing cost, 3.5%, $13,475. Even though you don't have the down payment assistance, that doesn't take away your $15,000. They're going to give it to you, the $15,000 lender and builder contribution. You've again put your earnest money down, the 1%. So that means, how much are you wiring over on closing day to the closing attorney to close on this $385,000 house? $6,175. You can buy a brand new home, 3 and 4 bedroom, 25 minutes to the city, stone brick on the exterior, hardy plank on the back, 2-car garage, Cobb County, growing area, highly desirable, 30 minutes to the airport, 25 minutes to downtown Atlanta, and get into it. Why would you ever, if you can qualify for it, why would you put down security deposit on an apartment that might charge you 1 or 2 months, that is not accumulating any interest, has not provided you any equity, is not building generational wealth, is not giving you any type of value? You're just having your money sit in a security deposit. And guess what? If your dog pisses on the rug, they're going to take your money. If you want to leave earlier, they're going to hold on to your earnest money to break that. This is your house, your money. That's the only investment you have to make, because you're getting that $15,000. That is huge, guys. I hope this kind of set off the stage in episode 1, part 1 and 2. I hope you really enjoyed this. We're going to do more of these. I always give it to you real. I try to give it to you in an exciting, fun way, and something inspiring so you could aspire to home ownership. Schedule your consultations with us. Have that one-on-one with us. Our services are completely free. We're going to get you into a house. Just follow the process. Hope you guys enjoyed episode 1. Catch up with you soon.